mind, body, and spirit. I think I'm doing the wrong thing. Hit the next. Good morning. My name is Marilyn Burns. I'm a community leader and advocate, and I'm also a resident of Woodhill Homes. For those of you who are not familiar with Woodhill Homes is public housing. I've been a resident of public housing for 18 years now. And how I became a resident of Woodhill Homes, because I was a homeowner. I always grew up in residential areas, pretty nice residential areas. But I became a victim of a scam. Becoming a victim of a scam, I lost my home, I lost my bank account, and I lost a relationship with one of my children who is now passed, gone to heaven. In 2011, I lost my son, and what he said to me was, "Mom, how could you ever live in a place like this? I will never, ever come back." In the process of him saying that to me, my son passed away, which left me devastated, broken, and just didn't know what to do. And in all of this, I was looking at the community I was living in, and I saw all their disparities, so I threw myself into community work to rebuild my spirit. So in my initiative, the Mind, Body, and Spirit Initiative, I set out to seek to help people who live in undeserved, under-resourced neighborhoods, particularly in public housing community, and by offering them something to rejuvenate their spirit, by using a food as a healer to help them navigate through all of this. But in order to do this, we must rejuvenate the spirit. That is the foundational piece of every human being on this planet. The spirit is the foundation of what we do. How do you expect anybody to eat healthy if they don't feel good about themselves? They either go from one extreme to the next. Some people overeat. I had a neighbor who just gets a big gallon of ice cream and sits there and eat it, to a neighbor who just refuses to eat anything at all. Why? Because they are broken in spirit. And this is my approach to the food system change. Often when I look at this, we have to build a sense of connectedness to heal. We have to have a sense of rejuvenation of the spirit, a restoration of the spirit, in order to build the reconnectedness. And in reconnecting each other, we empower each other because we're building, we're all connected. When I look at all of this as well, I'm often reminded of a quote from the Bible, from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verses 8 through 9. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. We are persecuted, but not forsaken. We are cast down, but not destroyed. Also in one version of that, we are cast down, but we are not cast out. We fall down, but we get back up. So in this, I do this in my neighborhood because we need a rejuvenation of the spirit. We cannot survive without this. So through this, over the 18 years that I have lived at Woodhill Homes, I've had the opportunity to engage with neighbors every single day of my life. There is not a time that I leave out of my apartment without running into someone who needs what? Their spirit to be fed. So our partnership with Woodhill residents, I also partner with local ministries, city council. Our council person, Blaine Griffin, is a big champion of mine. He's always willing to help me out, especially when it comes to Woodhill Homes, because the first thing out of his mouth is, it's about the kids. What are we going to do about those babies? I live in a family estate, over 700 plus people, and the majority of them that they are there are children. So we feed the spirit of the children first, because why? As Whitney Houston used to sing, the children are our future. And this is what we have to learn and lean to as time goes on. I also partner with city architects, local universities. I speak all the time to first-year medical students, not only from Case, but from Cleveland Clinic. They are so eager to learn about communities such as where I come from and live in because they want to know what I do and what it does and how it helps the kids. And they are eager because this is a side of society that they have never seen. We have to remember, as one of my fellows said earlier, where I live is one of the major red line communities. We're talking about a situation that goes back to the 1930s. It is now 2021, going into 2022, and not much has changed. Okay, and that is so broken. So we're talking about not only historical, generational, but we're talking about societal traumas. We're talking about stigmatization. We're talking about people who have been demoralized. So this is what I'm looking for: like-minded people. If you work on the spirit first, the mind and the body will definitely follow. Through this, I had some videos, but the ways to support is through funding, donations, volunteering, and community change. I want to leave you guys with something that is so profound, and I want to feed your spirit before I close today. And it goes, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Well, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that others won't feel insecure around you. We were born to make manifest the glory of light that is in all of us. It's not just in some of us, but it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Please let your light shine. Please let your spirit be fed. And please try to become a part of this group that is trying to uplift our communities through the spirit. I thank you.
Miss Marilyn, your light has truly shone for so many years, and I'm a little starstruck sitting here getting the chance to ask questions of you and as you share our wisdom with us. So thank you. I think that your holistic approach resonates with so many in this community and thinking about hope and spirit really starting first. I'm curious, in a tangible way, what do you see as your next steps and your first milestone towards your work?
Okay, I've made so many. Actually, you know what, the 7 minutes were nearly as long. I had a couple of videos involving children, but I see my milestone as just the continual growth of the enthusiasm, of the openness, because if we all build this all on trust, and more every day, the community has opened up to me. Miss Marilyn, when are you giving another event? Miss Marilyn, when are you doing this? Miss Marilyn, I am the resource. I am just a vessel. I want you all to take with you, I'm just a vessel of somebody who is using me. I'm very humbled by the work and by what I can bring to the community and to people that's in my neighborhood, but into the city and hopefully grow into the state. I want this to grow because we are living in a world right now that is truly broken in many ways. And we need a restoration of the spirit in order for anything else in our world to work.
That's beautiful. How do you, as you think about growing this real movement, how do you see this working and building with other food system efforts already taking place in the area?
I think it's connecting, and why I see that, I see the change every day in my community because just to walk in a room and your smile, just to do simple small things, it catches on. It's infectious. And all these things that come from a positive nature, come from a good spirit, it can't help but to spread. It's like throwing a stone in a pond, that rippling effect that just keeps going and going and going. And this is what I see. I see this happening for our world and for our cities, for our community, for our children, for society.
You mentioned festivals, and I think I saw on one of your slides a Harvest Fest. Can you talk a little bit about what that is?
Sure. I did, well, the Harvest Fest actually isn't coming up until October, but I've done so much. I did just a couple of them recently. I did something trying to surround the food system change, and I had posters, everything of fruits and vegetables, because I partner also with the food bank. And a lot of times that one of my fellows said this morning that is happening in our communities, the food waste. So in order to put this process on, I had pictures and put your little sticky notes. What is it you like? What do you want to bring? Put your why do you like this? And so I can share this information with the food bank. Listen, this is what the community is asking for more of. Still bring the things that you are bringing, but bring a little less of this. Then as we gradually grow, I have partnered with I'm just starting actually a nonprofit. We're starting an organization of nonprofit association so that we can partner with people who have resources that one doesn't have. So first example of that is I met a young woman who has a food kitchen, a mobile food kitchen. How awesome is that? So when food is delivered through the food bank, you can use that kitchen. You can take a kitchen to the community. How about that? They can engage in the cooking process. You can take what you get from the food bank. You can do these little simple recipes. You can have the recipe card. Not only that, a resident can engage in that cooking process. So hands-on is such a big ingredient in everything. So you get the card, you're able to take this home. I would like for this to grow into so much more, because come on, guys, listen. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. I have so much storage. My daughter came over there and she said, Mother, where's your apartment? Because this looks like a storage unit. So with the help and the funding of organizations such as yourself, I can have a place where I can store things. I can have tables, chairs, tents. I can have culinary equipment. For those residents who may have a disability with their hands, why not give them a culinary kit? Something that this incentive will grow, because I got to tell you, not bragging, but Miss Marilyn, I have people walking up to me and say, when are you giving another event? I have children walking up to me and say, Miss Marilyn, I love you. You know that cooking class we did? Well, I went home and I shared this recipe with my mother, me and my mother. But the smile on their face was so infectious. And this is the things that I want to resonate through the community, because you know how much a smile can light up a room, how much a smile can change your whole spirit of being.
Thank you. Well, you've certainly changed our spirit of being. Thank you.
Thank you.